Hello, everyone. I'm here with my best friend, one of my best friends. This is Greg.
Hello.
Hello. He is the reason why I am on booktube, because he got me reading again with the book Meddling Kids.
Oh.
So you can blame him for that.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to smash that like and
Oh
subscribe
no,
button.
don't do
Press
that.
10 comments below. Get £20 Amazon voucher courtesy of.
What? No! How dare you? Do you have a joke to tell?
A joke to tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I hate the pressure.
Good.
I'm probably going to tell it wrong. Okay. So there was a nun in a bath.
Okay.
And there's a knock on the door, and she's like, "Oh Jesus! Like, what am I going to do? Because I'm like naked in the bath." And the guy on the other side says, "It's me, the blind man." She's like, "Oh well, okay. I guess he's not going to see anything." So she opens the door, and he goes, "Nice pair of tits. Where you want the blinds?" Thank you, New York. You're breaking up a bit. I can't
Oh
really hear
no, it's because I'm laughing to myself.
you.
That's good, I like that.
Oh my God. Do you have a joke for me? Is the question.
No, I don't, and I wish I did.
Oh,
Oh, I'm such a disappointment.
it's okay.
Oh, thank you. You're supposed to go, no, you're not. But okay.
Oh, sorry. We're not. We can cut that, right?
No,
In
it's
post?
live.
Oh, shit. I'll try my best.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So, very mindful. So, books.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, have you read any recently?
Yes, I have.
Oh my god! What a surprise!
The last one I completed was A Beautiful Gift from You, which was A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. Represent. I don't know why I said that. Go from there. Yes, A Head Full of Ghosts. Go. Ask me questions about it.
What's it about? What are the characters like?
Okay, so it's about a family during. Oh, I'm bad with history. But it's like 2000 and something, but there was just like an economic crash or whatever. And the family's like basically not doing good and like living off like plain pasta and stuff.
Yeah.
Relatable. And it's the mom, the dad, and two daughters. One who's younger. Oh, I always forget her age. I want to say she's like 10.
Yeah.
And then what do you call it?
Yeah.
There's a teenage sister, the older daughter, and she's like 16 or something. And then basically like the book opens up with the younger sister as a fully grown adult, and she's being interviewed by this woman who's wanting to write a book about the true story that happened to their family.
Yeah.
Because basically it's a possession story, and the older daughter got possessed, and at the time the family got a TV crew in to come and like film it and just be like kind of like those paranormal shows kind of thing, but to film it over the course of like a week or whatever.
Yeah.
So then it's just going over different timelines of what happened to the family and with the possession, and then the woman doing the interview, and then you've got a bit of mixed media in there where there's this woman who's doing a blog post where she's rewatching the episodes and breaking it down and like why she thinks it's fake and whatnot. And and like the bits that were scary.
Yeah.
And it's just really good. There's so many Easter eggs for horror movie lovers out there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything funny that happens in it?
Oh my god, yeah. So there's this bit. So I think it's quite early on. Early on in the session anyway. The
Yeah.
teenage daughter starts being like really weird.
Mm.
Which is fair enough, you're possessed. And they've got a sunroom, and the little sister, because the sisters are really close and they normally always play together.
Mm.
The little sister's like, oh, I wonder where my sister is. So then she goes around the house, and then she finds her in the sunroom, and like she's just looking like really like disheveled, hair down, like in front of her face and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like having a bad day. And she's saying like weird stuff to her, which like freaks out the little sister a bit. But then every now and then she'll snap out of it and be like, "Oh, I'm just playing, Mary. Like it's okay, blah blah." And then she'll be a bit more like herself. And then the little girl's like, "Stop it, stop it." And then like just randomly, she notices her sister's like obviously she's maturing because she's a teenager now.
Okay.
She notices a chest and then basically grabs the chest and goes, boobs, boobs, boobs. And I'm like, what the hell did that come from?
Wait!
She's just like, booby, booby. And I was like, okay, yeah.
No, wait! Boobie. Oh, I didn't expect.
And I was like, it's really Noah energy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that's my energy. It is actually, to be honest. T, point for you with that. So a good read. Like, how many stars would you say that is?
So,
like, if you're thinking about like the story, the plot, the characters, rereadability, and like the fun factor of it all, like out of all them 5 points, what would you give it?
So fun factor is definitely 4.
Yeah.
Rereadability. Rereadability. I'd say 5. I'd read it again. Definitely.
Oh, good.
So on like Goodreads, my overall score was 4 stars.
Yeah.
But then I was like struggling because I'm like, it might be like a 3.75 or 3.5.
Yeah.
Now let me remember why. So the writing's very good. It's a page turner. The characters are amazing.
Yeah.
There's a good twist about halfway through, maybe it is.
Yeah.
I think maybe I just deducted the points because I would have appreciated a different ending.
Fair. That's understandable. That's fair.
Like, I understand, like, it's good and unique, like, the ending he did.
Yeah.
But I wanted
something else, something different.
Yeah, something different.
Which is fine. You know, like that's understandable.
Something with Paul Tremblay.
Wow, I'm so happy you're struggling with words instead of me.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Oh,
love it.
The thing I've noticed about Paul Tremblay's books so far, I've read 3 of them. I've read Head Full of Ghosts, The Pallbearers Club, and Cabin at the End of the World. He likes to do vague endings,
right?
And like Pallbearers Club. He so Pallbearers Club is basically like this guy who's like written this novel
Yeah.
about when he was in high school,
Mm.
and him and his friends volunteered to be pallbearers and stuff, and they met this quirky girl, and it's basically like a book about how, like, just their life growing up, very like Stand By Me vibes, and basically it's like she's a bit weird and he thinks she's a vampire,
Yeah.
but then it's mixed media again because she's read the found the draft for his book,
Mm.
and like throughout the book you'll see notes as if she's scribbled on it saying like, this didn't happen, you're lying here, stuff like that.
Mm.
And that's like very cool and stuff.
Yeah.
But then like the vague ending of that, it just calls into question like, well, did you just discount everything I just spent my time reading?
Mm.
And it's like, okay, like that ending didn't really land for me. And I just noticed that he likes to do very like, oh, is it or isn't it? But like, I'd definitely say like, yeah, A Head Full of Ghosts,
Yeah.
definitely recommend. Good read.
Mm.
However, I'd still say his book, Cabin at the End of the World,
Mm.
is the best one so far.
Okay. Now, there's a book that
And
you've read that we think Ven would actually really enjoy.
book that I've read.
Yeah.
Where's Wally?
Because of there was something where you actually ended up having to look up until you realized that it was apocalyptic. Because they went into a cave and something asked them a question.
Yes.
What is that book?
Well, that would kind of give away. I don't know if Ven wants that spoiled.
I mean,
But
well,
yeah,
like just kind of give him like what's the book called? Like give him like without giving sport, like you know.
Well, I do think it would be a.
Oh, he also says he doesn't mind spoilers, so you could actually talk about it.
So it's the Prince of Thorns, where that happens. Grimdark fantasy. Also, as well, I think that book, a lot of people. It's this like little prince, him, his mother, and his little brother. Were traveling in a horse and carriage, got attacked by different king's soldiers.
Mm.
They got killed, and he managed to survive. And then the whole book's like, I'm going to take revenge, and I'm going to kill that king.
Yeah.
And then also his dad, his king,
Mm.
he's just like, meh. So he's a bit angry, like, what do you mean we're not going to go storm that person's castle and kill them?
Mm.
So he goes on a mission of revenge, and I can see why a lot of people won't like it because he's not meant to be a likable character at all. Like, he's an actual lowlife, but like the intrigue for me, with following the book and why I enjoy it,
Yeah.
is just to see like if he can succeed. Bless you. If he can succeed in his mission of revenge, and
Yeah.
like the situations him and his men end up in, like how is he going to get out of it? And like it's interesting to see as well, even though he's a horrible person.
Sorry about that.
Bless you.
Thank you.
How much more depraved is he actually going to get?
Mm.
But basically, I think it's midway through the book, or maybe just past halfway.
Mm.
What do you call it? They're storming this person's castle, and they're going through from underneath.
Mm.
So like they're going through the vaults and stuff,
Yeah.
and him and his men basically come to a dead end, and there's a big vault door, and they're like, great, well now what are we gonna do? So he's just like, you guys just randomly like cut stone, let's see like how we get on.
Yeah.
And then he's going along studying the wall, and he finds like a false panel,
Mm.
and then he like moves it aside, and it's like the size of like a walk-in closet, and then at the back of the door there's like a panel. So then he goes to touch it, and then basically these green lights start scanning him, and then there's just this voice like, username and password. And then he's like, what? What is this? I don't need a password. And then it's just carries on like, password not recognized. And then he's like, are you stuck, ghost? If you let me in, I will make sure I free you. And then the ghost, well, the thing is just like, no, I am not stuck, blah, blah, blah. And then him and his men are confused and like, what fucking sorcery is this? And then I was like, hang on a second. This doesn't make sense because we're like in what's been painted as a medieval fantasy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's this like biometric scan thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, very like, okay. And then like you carry on reading and they manage to get in. And then it's like, they just carry on. And I'm like, okay, you're not going to explain that. And then basically, when they're planning the attack on the castle, he reads a book of schematics and blueprints about the castle, just find a way in. And because he doesn't know anything about it, and there's supposed to be these like monsters around near the bottom of it. And then he's reading about the history, and then they're saying in the books says something like, oh, there's these chemicals, and it turned the people's skins red, and then it went down the waterfall, and then it changed like the people below. And then you just kind of think to yourself like, oh, is this like radiation kind of thing? Which gets explained when they like are going through the castle, which is really good. And yeah, and then the book ends, and I was like, okay, great. Now I need to know like what happens.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a trilogy, so it's like set it up. But then it was like really bugging me at the end because why isn't this addressed? Like, is this getting addressed? So then I did a quick Google, and then everyone on Reddit were basically saying like, yeah, we don't want to spoil stuff, but basically it's set in a post-apocalyptic world. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it seems like it's you're reading it as if it's like a medieval fantasy.
Yeah.
But obviously there's been some kind of apocalypse, and then years after, however long, like everyone's gone back to medieval times, having to like start again. And I was just like, that's really cool. So if he explores that more in the second and third books, then I'd be very excited for that.
Yeah. Because, like, as soon as you were telling me when you finished reading it and stuff, I was instantly like, oh, that's absolutely, like, Ven's cup of tea.
It blew my mind, yeah.
Yeah, and Ven's like, I love future tech in a fantasy setting, so...
Yeah, I'm excited. It makes me excited for, like, the other two books to see, like, what more sort of tech and stuff they'd get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it had it doesn't have a lot of magic in, but the magic that it does is like really cool. And like some necromancy, so I'm a whore for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I have a question. When are you going to read Fourth Wing?
When my eyes fall out.
No! Listen, you've only ever watched bad reviews.
Yeah, read-alongs.
Read-alongs. You need to... Oh, very quick though. Ven says this Nara books have a vibe like that, a little post-apocalyptic Earth, with a few people use magic, but it's actually old advanced tech, which, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
I think it was also a series on Netflix as well. I think they did 2 series.
Really?
Yeah. Or was that the Shahara or something like that? I don't know. Sounds like it. It's fantasy, but post-apocalyptic.
Well, good.
But you do need to have a read of Fourth Wing. I would like you to tell everyone why you think you're not going to read it.
Okay.
Go into your rant. Go on.
Let me try and gather my thoughts.
And if we have to get Ven in on this call, we will do.
The read-alongs I've listened to. So number one, the prose. just not for me. Like, it gives me YA. Like I said, from the read-alongs when they were like reading the book,
Yeah.
I was like, why is it giving me like Stephanie Meyer vibes? But then all of a sudden, like a penis pops up. Like, it's giving me Twilight.
No. No, it's
well,
not. It's so different.
It's very YA. Also, the little writing, I don't know what to say, tools, I guess you'd say it, that she uses is just like, girl, no. So, like, full stop after every word. Does that a lot. And then also, like, the hyphenated words and, like, so hot gets you in trouble, kind of hot. Kind of, just no. Nobody speaks like that, Vi. Like, also, she's supposed to be the smartest motherfucking person in the world, and there's so many signs for different things that, like, she seemed not to pick up. Also, she gets really angry at Zaddy because she's like, "Tell me all your secrets about the rebellion." And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Oh my god, I fucking hate you. You can't trust me." And it's like, well, no, because Dane can read. Spoilers, sorry everyone. Dane can read fucking minds. So, and it's not my secret to tell. But whatever else you want, I'll be happy to tell you. No, because I want to be angry about this for the whole book for no reason. And even though I'm angry, I'm still gonna think about how your cock is pressing against your waistband. Yeah.
That's not, I mean, yes and no.
Just yes and yes.
Just
and then, guess what, everybody? Jack Barlow's alive. Who cares? Nobody.
I care.
Also, oh no. Zayden, are you gonna kill me? Are you gonna kill me? Are you? No, I'm literally not gonna kill you. Like, no. Like, and also, it's obvious that we're gonna fuck. Also, the really lazy pretense of, it's gonna, like, there might be a love triangle with Dane and Zayden. It's like, no, it's obvious it's just gonna be Zayden, so why bother? Again, sorry for spoilers for anyone. Oh no, Brennan's still alive? My brother who's dead, and like, I should surely miss you and think about you a lot. But I'll spend the rest of the book not really like thinking or wondering about you. I could be asking Zayden, like, okay, well, tell me more about my brother, when he's like, I'll tell you anything else. Also, why didn't I'm going to call him Teeter Totter.
Teeter Totter?
Her dragon's name's too...
Oh, right, okay.
Too much. Teeter Totter knew all of this, but yeah, they couldn't talk because also they don't spend time really bonding. What else do we have? We have... what's it called? Yeah, the dragons are so smart. No, so like powerful, go by their own rules, can't be controlled. Yet they just let so much bullshit happen. Also, the that random villain guy who's like,
professor.
Bring your baby Ariana Grande dragon here, or else. And it's like, no, it's like, well, can't really punish her or be mad at her because people can't control dragons. Also, it's a bit like, why would a baby dragon show up to the little pageant thing, the threshing, that's it. Why would it show up? Like, it just seems like an excuse for her to protect, for then Teeter Totter to be like, I have now come down from his hiding for so many years. I choose you, Silver One. Oh yeah, I've got silver tip hair because I'm so unique. I'm not like else. Also, I'm so sorry, everybody.
Oh no, go on, I love it.
No, because there's people that love books.
No, I still love the book.
And you're wrong. Yeah. The fact that she's got her disability, which is like EDS, like literally, she should be dead. And like, obviously, the rider school is like a death sentence.
Yeah.
And then Dane, who obviously cares about her, because she's like, oh no, what am I going to do? And then he's like, oh no, what are you going to do? This isn't right for you. Like, I'll get you out here. She's like, fuck you, I'm going to like do it. I've never wanted to like do it because I wanted to be a scribe, but I'm going to do it just to fucking spite you. And it's like, no, he's actually just concerned about your health safety. And then I know a lot of people like in the disability community say that it's a lot of toxic perseverance, and how like people with these disabilities would take help from people and like special measures
Mm.
and stuff. But she's like, no, don't help me. No, I'm gonna try myself. No. And it's like, okay, well, you seem pretty inconsistent, because then all of a sudden you're doing all these fights and stuff. You're fine. And then fucking Zaddy's railroading her, which should bloody pop her hips out. But she's like, oh, I'm okay. Lightning.
Oh, I'm okay. Lightning.
Yeah, that's just lightning. It is why he dyed his hair silver.
Excuse me, wait. No.
It's okay, violence. Stop trying to make that thing. Also, they need to get their thing straight for the win. Like, no. She acts like Instagram's a thing.
Wait, stop. So, let me just go back up. So, Ven said it's not love triangle.
Sorry,
no, go on.
No, yeah, it's not a love triangle, but in the beginning, and she's like, oh my god, Dane's muscles and stuff. It's like, well, you're making it sound like he could be a potential when really he's not. No. Also, the thing that was pointed out in the read-alongs and stuff, the way they're like, oh my god, Imogen, she's got pink hair. Oh my god, so-and-so, they've got blue hair. It's like, okay, just because you've got dyed hair doesn't make you edgy. And then what you call it as well? There was another thing.
Oh, no.
Well, there's lots of things.
Oh, is there?
One just popped into my head. Oh, this wasn't it, but the exposition dump is just like, oh, I don't know how to really world build, so I'll just make her info dump and say, oh, I do that when I'm nervous. I'm walking across the parapet and once upon a time this world was built here, blah blah blah. It's like nobody speaks to themselves like, no. No, Vi. Vi is, yeah, oh, I remember now. She's supposed to be really damn smart, but then it's really funny how she like lets slip to her friends, oh, there's a rebellion, blah blah. It's like, that's why Zaddy didn't trust you, dumb bitch. Like, if you can let it, oh, I don't know if that was... I don't know how far in the book you are. I don't know if that was a spoiler.
I literally got up to that bit.
Oh, okay. Whew, I better calm down with how far I go ahead then. And then, yeah, that's why I didn't trust you, you dumb bitch, because that happened without somebody touching you and seeing your memories or whatever. Yeah. So enough about me. I remember when I was telling you these things, more will probably come up as I remember.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you just were like, oh, but there's reasons. And I was like, what are the reasons? And you were like, but you don't understand there's reasons.
I did.
It was like telling me, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, that's the book.
Okay, good. Also, all that page count for all of that, like, oh no. And how it feels like, how's there going to be 5 books? Because like, she's obviously the draw of the book, she's using dragons to pretend it's not just about Zaddy and violence, which is such a dumb nickname. Yeah, about their relationship journey. Like, well, they're together and they love each other.
Yeah.
Which is like, well, no, that's a bit strong because it's actually lust. And how much was initially well, obviously you were like, oh my god, he's hot, but I'm
Uh,
sure the mind meld with the dragons fucking and making you horny for each other might have had something to do with it.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like, oh, where's the relationship gonna go? Blah blah. Like, you're already pretty much together, and it's the second book. You've got 3 more books to go. Like, who cares? Like,
I care.
well, I know you can't help it. And then there was another thing popped into my head. Oh, help me remember.
I don't know what it is you're doing. So, obviously, Ven says obviously it's a love arrow, and it is very tropey. It's definitely a good beginning for fantasy because I didn't know all the tropes. He also is impressed because this is better than his Akataran. And no, that's not why my hair is silver, because I'm getting back into Fourth Wing. It's not because I'm violent now.
It is. You're going to get a little vein tattoo as well.
No.
Oh, wait. I need to pause you for a second.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so, one, if you're, like a kingdom or whatever, and you've got this army, why would you give powerful dragons to the children of the rebels you killed? Make that make sense? Like,
Ven, can you come into this Discord call?
Like, then are you gonna like turn around and be like, oh no, I didn't expect you guys to rebel again, and now you've got dragons. Including giving Xaden the most powerful one. Well,
no, he wasn't given. They were chosen.
Well,
by the
no,
dragons.
well, chosen, whatever. But
so they expected the rebels' kids to die.
Okay, well that's a bad. Well, they didn't. So now what are you going to do? What's Plan B, Kingdom? Like what? And then also, they're like, oh, we really need riders. So it's like, well, why? And I know people say, oh, it's to cull the weak, because if they can't cut it, then they're not going to cut it out there. But
yeah,
if you say, like, don't let people just murder everyone, like, what the fuck? And also, yeah, what's the point? If there's people in the school that have been there for a few years or whatever, that still haven't been paired with a dragon, why waste the time keeping them there? Because it's like, they're clearly shit and nobody wants them, so what's the point? Also, points that were brought up was thingy. Oh, I just nearly lost it. Oh, wait.
You can do this.
I can do this, I believe.
You can do this.
No, I think it's gone, and that upsets me.
It's old age, it's alright.
Oh, there's no cure. Yeah, so I was basically saying, yeah, they're not getting chosen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was another good point brought up where it's like, why keep, like, the infantry and, like, the different segments separated when, like, it'd be handy for, like, each division to know at least a bit, because they don't really have, like, much lessons. And it's like she forgot, oh yeah, it's supposed to be about Dragon School, second book. Oh, let's take them back. I forgot. So yeah, it'd be like each division should know what each other group is doing, like share their information with each other and like learn at least little bits and stuff instead of being segregated and like
well, they're kind of put against each other.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's done. It's done. Oh, I love that.
But yeah, it's like I said, I think I said it to you before. I think if I read this in college,
yeah,
like I might have had a better time with it.
Okay.
But it just gives me the cringe, and I don't. Obviously, I can't talk because I've not written a book, but I just don't think she's a good author for me.
And that's okay to be wrong. It's all right to be wrong sometimes, Greg.
No. Yeah. So remember that. Remember that, Noah. Yeah. I just remember like the readathons and stuff. When I started reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Who the fuck's Brian? His cousin. To just then see like the shift in like the level of writing and like the complexity and like the characters who are making decisions that make sense. And you literally like care about everyone, whereas there seem to me to be so many throwaways.
No, there's characters in Fourth Wing that I really did genuinely care about, and I did actually get emotional over one of them, which is weird because I don't get emotional.
I'm in a long distance relationship. I'm gonna get married, dead.
Oh my god, you're so mean.
That bit broke my heart.
Yeah, that one hurt. Oh, I mean, Vince says that he went in with low expectation. It was better than he expected.
Yeah, there's another good point that was brought up in one of the videos.
Yeah,
and it was how basically like, especially with how quick these books are being released, how BookTok has turned some books like this, because this is a BookTok book, into like books being fast fashion and like not much substance, but just get out there and like, oh, look at this fancy cover kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, that's I can kind of see like it's an interesting discussion about how books do sometimes seem like fast fashion kind of thing.
First of all, I don't even know where to start with Sanderson. I've never read a Sanderson book. I don't know where to start. Oh,
with Sanderson,
yeah,
because I think you said you had one of his books from a different series.
I do. Skyward.
Yeah. So I in one of the fantasy booktubers I was watching, they said, well, obviously they said all of his books are great, but they said a good series to start as an introduction to Sanderson, so you know what he's like, is the Mistborn series.
Okay.
That's why I started with that.
Okay. But what is Mistborn about? Also, very quickly, Ven says Fourth Wing is basically like a solid junk food book. I don't know what that means.
I'd say it'd be like a Papa John's if it was fast food. Like, it might taste okay, but you'll be shitting for days after. Oh. What's it called? So Mistborn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Wait, let me just grab it because I feel like I just want to touch it while I'm talking about it.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's basically you're brought into this world and it feels kind of like fantasy, like maybe a little pinch of steampunk vibes. And like the sky is almost constantly black from ash. The sun is red, and basically it's because of all like these metals that have been mined and are being mined constantly. There's like a pecking order. There's people called Scar, which are basically slaves, made to do like the nobleman's work and stuff. And there's one, the ruler of the world is called, he's actually called the ruler. Yeah, so the way the book was sold to me in a book review I watched was, imagine a world where it's like a heist book, but it's set in a world where, imagine a world where Voldemort, and then it's like won.
Okay. Oh.
So imagine like if he won, it's like shit, everything's shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like this group of people, they're like wanting to obviously kill him and rebel and save the world, whatever.
Okay.
But it's already started off like, I'm the ruler, honey. I want game. Everyone is like under me.
Yeah.
But there's people called misters, and basically this is the magic system.
Yeah.
There's 8 common metals. There's like 12 metals altogether, but there's 8 common ones.
Yeah.
So you've got these metals, and you basically ingest them, usually through like, you have these little potions with like little flecks of metal in.
Right.
You drink the potion, the metal's in your body,
Yeah.
and you can like burn the metal from within, and then it gives you a certain power depending on the kind of metal it was.
Okay, that's an interesting take.
And it's really cool. So you've got iron, so that pulls nearby metals.
Yeah.
Steel pushes nearby metals. So there's really cool fight scenes where like, I don't know,
they're just chugging potions and being like, I push, I pull, chugging the potion.
So you drink the potion and it stays in your body, but then like it'll stay there until you use it, and you like burn it. And it like, some metals burn quicker than others, so you might run out.
Right.
If you leave metals in your body too long, it starts to poison you.
Fair.
But yeah, you'll have fight scenes where, for example, with iron and steel, which pull and push metals, there'll be a fight, and like the main guy, Kelsier, who was just, he gives me Astorian vibes.
Oh, okay.
He's so cool. He's amazing. He'll like pull a sword from a guy's hand and then like let it fly into the other one. They basically can kind of like fly, but it's not really flying. So they'll throw a piece of metal on the ground, like a coin. It's usually a coin.
Right.
And then they'll stand over it and use the metal to push, and it'll push them into the air.
Oh, that's cool.
So then they'll be like, basically like shoot up into the air.
Yeah.
And then if they want to go forward, they'll throw another coin down and start pushing. And then maybe there'll be like an iron barred window in the distance on a tall tower.
Yeah.
And they'll pull on that, and it'll like yank them onto the top of the building. And like, it's just like really cool.
That's actually really cool. I like the idea of that.
It's so, and the way he like writes the fighting and like makes the magic work is just so fucking good. Tin enhances your senses. Pewter enhances your physical abilities, so basically makes you superhuman. Although with that, so like say if you're in a fight and you use pewter to make you Superman, like say if you got like stabbed or something, you'd be able to carry on, but as soon as that metal ran out, you could die to your wounds. So you still have to be careful with like sharp things, I guess. Brass allows you to, brass and zinc are basically paired together.
Yeah.
So you can basically soothe, or what they call riot, someone's emotion. So you can basically kind of like manipulate them, and like if somebody's getting angry, you can make them feel like calm, and kind of like using the charm person spell in BD3.
Yeah.
You've got copper, which hides allomancy, which is what the magic system's called. And bronze, which reveals it. And you basically find this 16-year-old girl. She's an orphan. And she's basically in the Guild of Thieves. And she doesn't really understand the power she has. But the guild boss, he like abuses her, but like uses her because he's, oh, you're good luck, because whenever I take you on a mission, it always seems to go right. But they both don't realize, like, because she calls it, oh, it's my luck, but she doesn't realize she's actually using allomancy to like manipulate the people's emotions to make the plans go off well. So it's basically things go down, and Kelsier has got a band of brothers who have different, because mistings, basically one can only use pewter, for example. So he can only become superhuman. You'll have someone else who can only enhance senses and things like that. So they're called mistings. You have something called mistborns, like Kelsier and the main character her name's Vi. Sorry, it just confused me because we were talking about
Violet.
What's her fucking name?
I don't know. I've never read it.
Wait.
Oh, this is it. No, yes.
Oh my god, no, it's Vin. Sorry.
Okay.
Kelsey and Vin, there's something rare called Mistborns where they can manipulate all metals.
Yeah.
So he's trying to train her, and they're basically going on this death mission, very Ocean's 11 of we're gonna gather up this army, we're gonna steal this metal that's not supposed to exist.
Yeah.
And then Kelsier, he's like, and then when it's all over, you leave the ruler to me because I'm going to kill him. Because basically the ruler sent him and his wife into this thing called the pits where no one makes it out alive. But Kelsier managed to be the one survivor that made it out alive. But he's got like scars over most of his body because of it.
Okay.
So it's basically like the odds are really against them. It's like, how are you supposed to go against somebody that's like Sauron, who's already like won, and pull this shit off? But it's so good. The pacing's good. Even though everyone is an adult, like in their 30s or whatever, and Vin is the only 16-year-old. But throughout the whole time so far, she doesn't read like a stupid teenager. She's like very observant, and she like things that you would think or do, like she very much is on the same page. So she doesn't make you think like, oh, you stupid like teen, like this is eye rolling. You're just like, okay, yeah, good.
Okay, fair. I will have to read that then.
Definitely, it's just giving me everything at the moment.
Yeah.
If it carries on this way, it could be a 5-star for me.
Oh wow, okay.
Then I'm excited as well because what's going to happen with the 6 other books.
There's how many books?
There's 7. 7. 7. And then also as well, everywhere constantly dirty. There's like mounds of ash on the floor. Like constantly, it's just constantly there, as if it's like imagine snow, but ash. And it's because everyone's forced to like mine these metals for they can be used for magic and stuff, and it's just very dark and depressing, and I love it. And like literally every character that's been mentioned, you're like, I like you, I'm interested in you. Like, there's no one where you're just like, oh, move on, I don't care.
No, I like that. It sounds really good. Ben says that it's been a long time since he's read book 1, but I remember that the magic system was awesome, and he's just like, metal magic, and he needs to reread them and the rest soonish.
It's so good. The way Sanderson writes it as well, and like the fight scene, like you can imagine it in your head, like he just puts you there so well. Like I can see why he's one of the goats.
What people keep saying goats. What is goats?
Greatest of all time.
Okay.
And I was like, me!
Pantalon. So good. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, like, go to a different direction very quickly. Are there any books that you're excited to read in October, or ones that are coming out that you're excited for?
Oh, I love this game.
Oh.
Definitely fourth wing. Joking.
You bitch. How dare you?
So for October, I'm excited to finally get stuck into My Heart's Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones.
Ooh, yeah.
So I've got like a weird relationship with him.
Yeah.
Like, I read his book, The Only Good Indians, which is a horror.
Okay.
And like the story is good.
Yeah.
And also I'm loving like the Native American history and representation in it. The gore and like fucked up shit is creepy and good.
Okay.
For some reason, and I don't know whose problem, I'm guessing it must be me, because everyone else seems to think it was fine.
Yeah.
But his writing,
yeah,
I found several times, and this is like the only book I've found it this bad with, because I don't think it's happened to me with others. So many times where I had to keep on rereading sentences. I was like, the structure of that didn't make sense. It felt like I had to. I don't know. Do you know when you're reading along, you're just like do.
You go mind numb, and you're like, shit, what did I just read?
Yeah, you're like, yeah. It was kind of like that, but I know I was like not zoned out.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? This is like weird. It must have been a me problem, but it just like spoiled it for me because I was like, I feel like there was some parts that he could have written that flowed smoother.
Yeah.
But having said that, I was like, okay, that's really good. And then I heard about the series, My Heart is a Chainsaw.
I didn't even know that was a series.
Yeah, so it's My Heart is a Chainsaw, Don't Fear the Reaper, and something about a lake, which is...
something about
I think it's like Bear Lake or Indian Lake or something. I think it's supposed to be like the name of the town or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically about a uni student, and she's obsessed. No, she's not. English. Oh my god, I'm
even say no. You take that back.
She's obsessed with slasher movies and just knows everything about them, and she's writing her thesis on slasher movies.
Yeah.
And then basically there's a serial killer going around, and then she starts noticing people around her are like falling into the slasher stereotypes, like, oh my god, this girl's acting like the final girl. Oh my god, this girl's acting like the bitchy cheerleader who's going to get picked off, blah blah. So she starts noticing these patterns that everybody doesn't. So then she's like, I need to like use my knowledge to help people survive and stuff and stop this serial killer. And I was just like, I'm a whore for that. That sounds like a great time. And it's mixed media as well, because like in different sections she's got some of her essays about slasher films in there.
See, I love when books use mixed media. It just adds that extra something to it, so I'm a whore for that as well.
Yeah, it's just gives me life. So definitely My Heart is a Chainsaw. We need to do a House of Leaves.
Yes, no, I agree with that so much. Like, but when? I feel like that needs like a whole month for itself.
Yeah, because I feel like that's not going to be a book you would finish in a few days. Because it's like I said, it need a month because there's so many things.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like we'd have to like
have to be a detective.
Yeah, I think we'd have to. I think we should do this. I think we should do it for November. I think we should like read certain sections and then we'll go on a live and talk about what we've read so far.
That sounds fun.
And then we can talk about what we think and all that jazz. If you're down to do that, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down. That sounds like a brilliant plan.
Okay, sweet. Let's be detectives.
Yeah. Also, as well, I know Ben said he liked the book The Watchers. That's been sitting on my shelf for ages, so I need to... That came in my abominable book club.
Yeah.
She got a booty like you.
Booty.
It was in my abominable book club subscription box.
Yeah.
And it's a nice edition. It's got sprayed red edges.
Ooh.
And I was like, this sounds like my kind of book, and I definitely read it.
Yeah.
But I've just not got around to it. And I'm
Same.
like, well, Halloween is perfect. So
see, Ven just said the new book, the second book, is actually out this month.
Oh my god! So
The Watchers. It's something to do with Don't Stay in the Dark or something. I think it's called.
Oh, I definitely need to hurry on that one then. Because goddamn. And then I've got
Stay in the Light. There we go. Close enough.
What's it? There's a collection of short stories I want to read as well. That also was one of the books in the Abominable Book Club box. Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes by Eric LaRocca.
Oh, I thought you were saying since, like, just in general, like, things have been worse since we last spoke. It's like, you got English.
Well, yeah, but no. Yeah, by Eric LaRocca.
Oh, okay.
Or LaRocca, sorry. And everyone's like, he's messed up. It's really good. So I'm like, yes. You need to read Exquisite Corpse.
Exquisite Corpse. You've mentioned this before,
and you still haven't.
I know, but tell us about it. Go on.
So basically, because as well, so I know for your Smuttember, you read Butcher and Blackbird.
So good.
When you were describing it to me, because obviously that's like a light-hearted, fun, also sexy time killathon thing.
Yeah.
When you were describing it to me, I was like, it sounds like Exquisite Corpse, which is like a more like, no, this isn't meant to be good times version of it. I'll read you the synopsis because it probably sums it up better than me.
Okay, go on.
To serial killer Andrew Compton, music.
Someone get a nurse. He's having a stroke.
Yeah. Cool blue. To serial killer Andrew Compton, murder is an art, the most intimate art. He feigns his own death to escape a life sentence in prison and makes his way to America with the intention of bringing his art to new heights. Tortured by his own perverse desires, he inadvertently joins forces with Jay, a dissolute playboy. They set their sights on a young Vietnamese-American runaway, whom they deem to be the perfect victim, moving from the grimy streets of London's Piccadilly Circus to the decadence of New Orleans' French Quarter. Poppy C. Bright dissects the landscape of torture and invites us into the mind of a serial killer in this riveting, unforgettable masterpiece of horror. Horror. So, that person he mentioned, where is it? Where it says he teams up with somebody called Jay. Jay is a serial killer in New Orleans, but he also like is a cannibal.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like both them like, oh, I want to kill this person. And like it's kind of them like the guy from London, he's like kind of stepping on his like hunting ground kind of thing. But then as well, because they've never met another serial killer like them, they've kind of got this like fascination with each other. And it's very gory.
Yeah.
But in a weird way, it's the prose of it is like written beautifully, and you're like, wow, that sounds beautiful, but it's actually really disgusting. And then it's got like a bit of, it's got smut in there, but it's not like, I don't know how to say it. It's not like, woohoo, like there's a story, but we're here for the smut, guys. It's like, no. Just no. There's probably like a load of trigger warnings to go along with it.
Ben says
it's so good.
Ben says he has a Eric LaRocca book to read. He thinks it's something called like You've Lost a Lot of Blood.
Ooh, I think I saw that in Waterstones.
Ooh.
I literally. It's a weird thing because he has beautiful book covers as well. I know, don't judge a book by its cover, but
then the cover buys so much.
Because like I see Eric LaRocca's covers,
yeah,
and I'm like, that's so beautiful. I'll have to send you a picture sometime of the one I've got.
Yeah,
they're like this weird like watercolor style weirdness. And they just look good. Well, I guess obviously it'll be from the certain publisher that does that style.
Yeah.
Because he's probably got some ones where it's just like, here's a picture of a dog. But yeah. Yeah, I would say I agree with Ben. There is one, it's the only book I've ever given 1 star. And it's called Black Teeth.
I think Ben's read that as well.
Yeah, I got it in subscription, and I was like, oh my god, this cover gives me everything I want. I'm so excited. Read it, and I was like, what the fuck was that?
What did you think about it, Ben?
Me angry. Yeah, do tell.
Do tell us.
Pray tell.
What other books?
Oh, I'm also excited
Mm.
for, although it is a chonker.
Wait, very quickly. Ben says he liked the first half, the second half was wank.
Yeah. It's just like, good thing it's only a small book because, it just upset me.
Mm.
Yeah, another book I want to read is Babel by R.F. Kuang.
I know Ven's bought that book.
Yeah, I got the hardback, and it's dark academia. It's just giving me everything. So I'm really excited, and apparently it has really interesting things to say about language and stuff, and apparently like the magic system in that is cool, and I'm just excited for that. Yeah, that's another one. Oh, here's a fun like little question. So what are like kind of like tropes, I guess, but also like subgenres where like if you know a book includes something, you're like, oh my god, I'm a whore for that.
Yeah.
Like I would give that time of day to read that. Like what sort of things titillate you?
Oui, baguette. See, I struggle with that because I don't see tropes as people see them. Like, I know Fourth Wing has the tropes like with the dragons and the dragon riders, stuff like that, and I'm new to that, so I love that.
The Chosen One.
Minotaurs, no, Ven, no.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, excuse you. But I love like my cosmic horror, the unknown, and it's like as soon as it's like, yo, this is like something unknown, something alien, or tentacles or whatnot. That sounds terrible when I say that out loud as well. No, because I like my horror. I like my body horror. I like my gore and stuff like that. So anything to do with that sort of stuff, I really like. I don't know how to answer the question.
But okay, so let's put it this way. So, for example, like if somebody said to me, "Oh, there's this book. It's dark academia, so it's like to do with like education, but it's all like dark and gothic." I'm like, okay, I fuck with that. Or if somebody's like, "Oh, this is a heist story," or this is like enemies to lovers. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I like enemies to lovers.
Those sort of things.
I like enemies to lovers. I like I would see, my thing is though, when people say like dark academia, education, stuff like that, I really want to get into it, but I struggle with it so much. Like I tried Atlas 6, right? I got that halfway.
Oh my god, I fucking love that. Yeah.
I only got halfway because I was like, it's the same thing being repeated by different people's point of views, and I can see the underlying story with that, but I struggled so much.
But the magic,
loved it. The magic was good. I liked the magic aspect of it, but I was like, you just give me the same thing with different point of views.
And the mystery, though. But also, you're on about the repetition.
Yeah, I don't like the repetition.
That is so fucking hard. Like, how many times?
2 books worth.
There's the repetition.
Yeah, that bit was like, oh, but I enjoyed everything else. When it's like a mystery, when someone says like, oh, this book has a really good mystery, I'm like, whore for that. Absolutely love that. Or if it's kind of like a futuristic type of thing, kind of a whore for that too. Or when they say like,
what about...
Go on.
Jinx. I don't know if you're a whore for this as well, but something that really gets my beans jumping is unreliable narrators. Unreliable
narrators. I haven't really read anything to do with unreliable narrators.
What I love about it is because obviously you're reading from their point of view and stuff, and you're like, obviously everything they say you're taking as truth, but then when it flips around at the end and it's like, oh my god, they were fucking lying, or it's not what they said it was. Oh, it's just like, yes. Put it on a cracker for me.
Ven is a villain with a good point. You have read Fourth Wing, yes. She is not reliable. Really? Because she's had more logic to her stuff when things have come out, and it's like, she kind of has a point there. I found her reliable with the venom and stuff like that, and her knowledge of like I don't know, old stories and shit like that.
Who?
I didn't think she was unreliable. Hello.
Who are you on about?
Violet from Fourth Wing, or sorry, Violence.
Oh, she is so unreliable.
Why?
I've seen brown paper bags more useful.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but that's because she's been given incomplete information, and then she's working off that and building up the more complete information.
But wait, isn't she the smartest person?
Their history. So the thing is, though, their history, like everyone, like normal history, everything gets rewritten.
Yeah,
they take
propaganda.
Things out. That's what it is, and she's finding out that everything that she's grew up with, everything she's read, is propaganda. Everything's like incomplete, and she's like fixing that. She's like trying to get things to make sense and put all these puzzle pieces together, which I like. So she is technically,
but she's doing it badly and annoyingly.
No, she's doing it as best as she can in the situation that she is in.
She's a mess, but give her a Blue Peter badge.
I will give her a Blue Peter badge. Thank you very much.
In the shape of a dragon.
Yeah, 2 dragons, a bebe.
What other sort of stuff? Yeah, like Ven said about like a villain with a good point. Like, I like morally grey characters.
Yeah, I like that. The end.
The end.
The end. No, I find it difficult because like I've only ever really read like horror books, so it's normally this person just trying to survive, and I like
horror
that.
And smut.
What? And no. How dare you, Minotaur smut? Horns.
Messing the ball to get horns.
Oh, I hate that. All right, mad cow disease over there. No, I struggle with that question because I'm only just branching out into other genres, so I feel like I'm very new to getting that to answer that question. What about you though? So you said dark academia and education.
Yeah, so I love horror. That will always be my first love.
Yeah, same.
Also, like I do like thrillers and crime. But again, I don't like the ones where it's like very fast fashion, like we kind of spoke about in like, oh, it's released with these cheesy covers like constantly. Like, no, I'm good. Yeah, I started getting into fantasy a while ago and was like, because to me, the most intimidating genres were fantasy and sci-fi.
I agree with that.
I wanted to push myself out my comfort zone, see what other genres had to give.
Yeah.
And I started my first well, I don't know if it's my first sci-fi actually. No, I think it was. The first sci-fi I decided to sink my teeth into was The Three Body Problem.
Oh,
which is the first book in trilogy. They've made a series on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that was just, I absolutely loved it. It's not like it's not a popcorn read, and like it does have some stuff where you're like, what the fuck? How do you think about this? And like, it just sort of does that thing where like it makes you think like, oh yeah, what if this was a possibility and things like that. And it's just like really good.
Yeah.
And it was like challenging at points, but like the mystery and like drama of it all and the things like it was making you imagine, I was just like, this is sickening.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I was just like, yeah, it made me like, because the 2 genres that I was most fearful of turned out to be something that I like really love.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is as well, I really like books too, where it's very like slice of life, kind of, I guess, like dramas, kind of. I don't know, like The Great Gatsby, for example.
Oh, right, okay.
I loved that book.
Never read
I thought
it.
It was beautifully written. Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird, I thought was amazing. Stoner was amazing, and it's just like a really, again, just a view of somebody's life and what they've had to go through, and like nothing action packed happens, and it's just very sad.
Something. You should. But like, I have a recommendation for you then.
Mm-hmm.
There's an author that I used to read, and it's very much like she's written everything in like a fictional sort of way, but it's all true, and she changed like the places and the names and stuff, and if they want their names in, she puts them in, and she gives you updates in the back of the book like where they are now. But she's called Tori Hayden, and she basically helps like kids that were going through some shit, like abuse, like things that were messed up. Like one of them is called Ghost Child, because no one really like looked at her. She was very hidden into the background, but she was abused to a point where her family was basically in a cult. It was messed up, and it's how she, as this substitute teacher, came in and
that's another thing that titillates me. Cults.
Yeah. So
if a book's got a cult in it, I'll read it.
Yeah. So I definitely think you should read some Tori Hayden stuff, because the things that happen in this book that is all true is like mind blowing.
I'm a whole
and it's very well written.
Yeah, I'll definitely look that up.
Ven says that I'm with Ven also. This about very, very quick about Three Body Problem is that I've heard very mixed things about it, which is why I haven't touched it.
Yeah, I think again it's got some complex ideas. It jumps around in timelines.
Yeah,
like
see, I have trouble with the timeline jumping.
Yeah, it's something. It's like if you be patient with it, and when you read it, like your focus, then it'll be a good time. Like when I read that, I would tab and make notes after every chapter, and also like just to help me just keep in mind about like what I think they're trying to say with the different scientific stuff, and like.
That's another thing I'll struggle with.
What foreshadowing it could be.
Like, I get that people want to put scientific stuff in there, right? But they don't have to go off the deep end with it. So a point where I'm like, this is all just gobbledygook. I would like to understand. Just put it simple for me.
Yeah. Which, so that's like, you get that in other genres as because that's when you get, so you've got like fantasy, or you've got high fantasy, where it's like really complex, lots of hundreds of different elven characters and bullshit you're supposed to remember. So like you kind of get that across all genres. You get like entry points, and then more like, okay, I'm more used to this now. Just a quick one as well.
Yeah.
With then wanting more dark academia.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a book called If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio? I've got it. I've not read it yet, but it's one of, you look up dark academia and people are like, this is the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's real. I never know, like,
yeah.
You're sorry. Rebooting. It's weird. Like, I never, with stuff like horror, like, I think that's something like I know you for, and I'm like, yeah, easy Rex.
Yeah.
Anytime. But then outside of that, like, it's really weird because, like, I don't. Yeah, I can't. I don't know.
Well,
for example, like I feel like with like, I don't even know because that doesn't even sound true.
Okay.
Like, do you know the book you gave me?
Yeah.
About the bookbinder.
Yes.
I'm halfway through. I need to finish that. I'm really bad. Like you were like, I read a bit, but it was really boring and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I read it, and with like the descriptions and like the language and like also the cool ideas that were coming up, I was like, are we reading something now? Like, but then I was like, oh, is it maybe, do you not like slow burn books?
I don't. I do not like slow burn books.
Okay.
Ven says, fantasy sci-fi were my first reads. I've never found a thriller/crime that has ever really hooked me. I enjoy those elements as more of a small part of a bigger story, which is fair. Jenny says, I have the first book in the Zodiac Academy series to try. I think that's supposed to be Dark Academia. And Ven does like a slow burn. One. But for me, go on.
There's... Because it makes me wonder, like, with Paranesi...
Oh...
Because it's amazing, and you should read it.
I can't pronounce
it. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's fantasy, and that there's like, it's like really good. But then I don't know if you'll be like, oh, why isn't lots of stuff happening?
Yeah, I might have issues with that. The thing is, though, is that
it's not a thick book, but it's like about the journey. The characters
take
like mentality, all the questions of what's going on, why is he here, why are these things even possible, and it's just like that. But so it's like really, and then a good twist, so it's really beautiful and amazing, and it's kind of like just being there for like the journey of the imagery and everything. But then I think like you'd be like, oh, why hasn't there been a fight scene?
Or, I would be like that. Where's the action? Where's the penis? I am not like that. How dare you? Lies and slander. Ven says he nearly picked it up, but he doesn't like the new cover.
Oh, it deserves getting a good cover. Yeah. But I will invest on a book cover for something that I know is the...
Yeah. Like, I've learned to do my research now after TikTok.
Oh, but you've still...
No! Silence! The quiet you over there. But the thing is, though, is that, obviously, my main genre is horror. I love horror. But I was really nervous to jump into, like, fantasy and sci-fi because, like, people build these massive, massive worlds, and I get intimidated by that so much. But, like... Fourthly, for me, like, and Feybound, like, for my first books to kind of go into the fantasy and Fey sort of genre sort of stuff, really, really good. And I did enjoy it because it wasn't like, here's this whole thing, you're learning as you go with them and stuff like that. And then sci-fi,
because of Vi's info dump,
yeah. I hate you. But then, like, my first proper sci-fi read was Paradise 1, which is a sci-fi horror by David Wellington. And I don't like multiple, like loads and loads of point of views, but even though there was few point of views in there, I ended up really loving and enjoying the characters.
That's probably why you didn't like Atlas 6 as well.
Yeah.
If you don't like multiple points of
views. But there's like 6 point of views in that book, but there's also the fact that the chapters are very short, which I hate. But it's such a fast-paced book throughout all of it. It's such a good read, and I really enjoyed it. So that makes me want to like dive more into like the sci-fi thing, like depending on what kind of like genre is going with as well. So it wasn't like an info dump, but it was still like, here's things you need to learn about the world. And I was like, okay, got you. And we can move on with the story as fast as possible. And I liked that.
Yeah, it's good to like ease into it. I think, because I've got no problem with like romance book. Like one of the best books I've read that was 5-star was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's absolutely amazing, and I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I actually cried with the book.
I've never cried at a book. I want to experience
this one had me. Maybe you should read this. It'd be interesting to see if it gets you teary.
What's it called?
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's this old, like, 50s made-up movie star who's supposed to be very much like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And she's being interviewed in modern days about her life and all of her relationships.
Yeah.
And just goes through them and everything that happened and, like, the way she was treated in Hollywood and, like, the things she had to do and get through.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, oh, amazing. It's just...
Okay, I'll have a look at that, The Seven Husbands.
And it had some twists in there, and I was like,
ooh.
Child. Yeah, my ish. So I don't mind books about love and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like...
But it's not your main thing. It's very much in the background. You want like things can happen, but it's not like the main focus of the story.
Yeah, because I feel like because you can get fantasy books that are like easy entry, but aren't like this, but we're here for the love. It's like, okay, well, that detracts for me personally.
Yeah.
But obviously I know it's a bit of fun and a bit of like fantasy in the sense of like, put myself in the shoes of what it's like to be in a passionate relationship and stuff like that. But then I find it a bit like, obviously it could be funny, but I find it a bit, I don't find it very like, it's just like, watch porn.
Fair.
Because when it's like written down, it seems silly, as if people's like,
it can be, but sometimes
but sometimes they do it where it's just like, okay.
I mean, story of Elle, one of them was like, he put it into her womb, and it's like, where's the cervix? That's violent. I don't like that.
Top tier writing, that is.
Hate it. Then I've always hated short chapters. Normally I'd like don't mind it, but when they're in like 1 to 3 pages, that's where I get angry at it, because it's like, you're not giving me much info. Why does this chapter exist?
Have you ever had the opposite of that? One of my favorite books, The Road by Cormac McCarthy. It's literally stream of consciousness, no chapters, just continuous writing, and you're like, it's a page turner, because you're like, I got no natural stopping point. And at first I was like, oh, this is really annoying. Like, just really annoying. But then I was like, oh my god, this story. Oh, I cried at that book as well, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I've never read a book like that where they didn't have chapters.
Yeah.
Never read, so I'd never had to experience that. It would frustrate me because I like having chapters to go by, so I'd have a natural stopping point, like you said.
Yeah. Like it. You're like, well, I guess I have no choice but to
carry on.
Read it in a day.
Yeah. Forget everything else I need to do today.
Yeah. At first, because I read that book twice. There's a movie of it as well.
Oh, okay.
When I first read it, I was disappointed because I was like, post-apocalyptic. I was ready for like, yeah, bring it on, end of the world, baby. And then I was like, why is there lots of like fights and stuff? And then I was like, oh, okay, I get you, because it's basically like the post-apocalyptic, but it's this father and his son trying to get from one end of the country to the other. I think it's to like the coast, because it's supposed to be like a safe zone or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just their like struggles of just trying to survive, and like a father-son relationship.
Yeah.
And it's very emotional, and obviously there's like cannibals out there and stuff, because they're like, it's the end of the world, let me eat your knee.
Spam.
Yeah. So like there is stuff that goes on where it's tense, but it's just like a beautiful father-son relationship story, and it's like, oh, dada.
Oh, love that. We're gonna have a quick little break because I need to use the loo, and also Miley needs to let out, so we can also get our drinks and stuff, if that's cool with you. Yes. All right, we'll be right back in a minute, you beautiful people.
Yeah.
Oh. We're back. It's raining outside, by the way. I'm going to take my camera off.
I thought you were going to say it's raining men then.
It's raining men. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's raining men.
Amen. Oh my god, you're wet.
Yes! It's absolutely pouring outside. I'm in shorts and flip-flops.
One time. Noah wore shorts and flip-flops. I wore shorts and flip-flops.
All right, me girls.
I've got an interesting question for you.
Okay, go on.
What?
Good question.
The end. Yeah. Just what?
Yeah.
What movie or TV show have you seen that you were like, oh my god, this would be an amazing book? Or vice versa, what book have you read? Like, oh, I wish this was a series or a movie.
The thing is that, like, this is where I call it the game curse, because when they turn games into a movie,
let's
normally
pretend a perfect world.
Okay.
They won't ruin it.
Ooh, that's a difficult question. I would love for there's a series that I'm obsessed with that I still need to read the second book for. The first book's called Smoke and Bone by Lana Taylor. I would love for that to be a series.
I think that is.
No, it's a that's not it. That's something different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's so many books with the same name, which is a curse in itself. That one's really good.
What's that about?
So this girl was kind of like, she lives with oh my god, chimeras, which is like a secret world in itself, but she lives in the human world, and like this chimera dude's like her like adoptive dad, but she was born with all these tattoos on her body, and basically people go there and like pay him like teeth from other people, and she basically, while she's at university, she kind of like goes around the world like doing the odd job for him, and she basically angels are the bad guys in this, and angels basically find where her little places of residence with these chimeras that look after her, and it just goes mental from that point on, because they then realize why she has the tattoos, and all hell breaks loose.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
Got my interest. Whoa.
It's really good. I really
cool.
enjoyed it. It's very beautifully written, and the special edition covers of the books that you can sometimes get a hold of are beautiful, and I wish I had them covers.
That sounds again Horford covers.
Yeah.
Also,
Ben says Fringe.
yes. If that was a book series,
yeah.
Oh my god, I would inhale it.
Do you know what I wish was a book series?
What?
Project Zero. You know, with the camera, the Obscura camera and stuff like that. I would love like a book version of that. I would literally die for that.
So cool.
Yeah, I need something like that in my life.
Okay, yeah. That's a really good shout.
Yeah.
I watched recently, well, yeah, a few weeks ago. God, I'm getting caught up on semantics here. And it's kind of like, it kind of doesn't count because it is already in written form.
Yeah.
However, I want it written the way it was directed. So basically, there's a series on Netflix called The Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh, I love the book. Have you read T. Kingfisher's version of that? So good.
No.
It's called What Moves the Dead. I love the book.
Well, yeah. So Mike Flanagan, who's amazing,
yeah,
he did The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh,
just everything he directs, I'm like, oh my god, so good. And Midnight Mass, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'll watch this, and basically it's the fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah.
Modern retelling.
Yeah.
But then like, because I think he's got 6 kids or whatever.
Oh damn.
Because of the deal he made. Wrap it up. Because of the deal he made, when it's time for him, getting close for him to die,
Yeah.
all of his bloodline will die first. So like
Oh.
all of his adult kids are dead,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Oh, it's by suicide." But like each episode, you go into how they actually died,
Yeah.
and it's supernatural, and the fucking tension, and also each way they die
Yeah.
is done in a way where it's a different Edgar Allan Poe story.
Yeah.
So it's just like the whole thing's an homage to him, and just the tension. The cinematography is beautiful.
Yeah.
The acting is amazing, and I was just like, I just couldn't stop thinking while watching the way it was done. Like, oh, I want a book version of this. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. It's a very bizarre read because then actually on his channel there is a reading that he's done a reading of the actual book. But T. Kingsfisher's version of it is absolutely brilliant. I literally just ordered the book, so it'll arrive on the 1st.
Orgied?
Orgied?
You orgied the book?
I ordered you the book! Did I say orgied?
Yeah!
Oh no!
Please clip that!
No! I've just ordered you the book.
What have you been doing to your other books?
Oh, well, that's a question, isn't it? It's very good, but I just had moments where something happened in it, and I was like, "This is actually giving me the creeps." And it's rare that I get that in a book, so I'm all over it. And I love. See, this is something like the trope with like the whole plants and stuff like that. I love that in a book. I literally get goosebumps with that because it can happen.
With what? Plants?
Plants.
Do you know what? I love horror to do with nature.
Yes, but also that's also my biggest fear. Like, you know the movie The Day After Tomorrow? Love the movie. Nightmare fuel for me. I'm terrified of natural disasters.
Yeah, like I've got a morbid fascination with those kind of movies because I'm like, oh, I love them, but then I'm like, oh my god, am I ready?
I'm not ready.
Should I build a bunker? Oh.
Absolutely love that.
What's it called?
Mm.
Also, what do you think about psychological?
I love psychological stuff. I literally thrive on it. I don't read enough of psychological stuff, though. That's the only issue.
Yeah. They're not as, like...
out there as much.
Yeah. They're a bit more niche. But I love books where shit goes down, but you're like, is it a mental illness, or is this actual fact?
Love that. Absolutely love
Anything
that.
where you, like, question reality.
Yeah. Jenny says that she loves disaster films, and The Day After Tomorrow is amazing.
What's your favourite one, Jenny?
Ooh, that's a good question. What is your
Day
favourite
After Tomorrow is one you could watch endlessly.
Ooh. Ven says, I have a fungal-focused sci-fi book to read soon called Mushroom Blues. It's a cyberpunk mystery. Why have we only just heard about this?
There's something so creepy about fungus.
Yeah, I love that in a book.
Especially when it combines with, like, body horror.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. So you'll enjoy the book when you get it on the 1st.
Oh, what's that?
When the book arrives on
the 1st. The book?
Yeah.
Oh, Oh.
Aww.
So I'm reading that for October as well.
Oh, this is... Jenny says, The Day After Tomorrow is my fave, but The Core is a close second. Love Volcano as well.
I was gonna...
Oh, no.
Oh, Jenny's on my page, because I was like, oh, I kind of love, even though it's, like, cheesy, like, Volcano, and what's the other one? I know one's Pierce Brosnan and the other one Tommy Lee Jones. But anyway, I love the Volcano ones because it's like a slow threat. Well, obviously you've got the explosion, which is pretty fast, but it's like running away from.
You cut out them for a second. From
encroaching lava is quite terrifying, and it reminds me of the kind of fear of like the blob where you just got this slow creeping mass that will destroy you.
Love that movie.
So fucking good.
Jenny says Volcano is Tommy Lee Jones.
What I need is thank you, Jenny. What I need is a zombie horror book that will refresh my love for zombies. That isn't from a zombie perspective. That isn't like a comedy or a love story like Warm Bodies or whatever. I want like a truly terrifying.
You know what my thing is that a lot of like I want it to be from the person's perspective of where it happens and we go through it with them, because a lot of things is like, oh, we're in a world where it's a zombie apocalypse. It's like, no, I want the whole experience. I want the beginning.
Yes, definitely.
And then turn it into a series with everything else. But like, I want them to be like Resident Evil zombies. They can't like the original Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I need it to be like that. Not while they're running. It's like, bitch, you're dead. Your muscles are going.
Yeah.
Can't run.
There is nothing to run with.
Yes.
It needs to be Dawn of the Dead, but a book.
Yes. Which I think it is a book.
Oh,
yeah.
But different. Yeah.
Yeah, but different. Not to that level. Jenny says San Andreas with Dwayne Johnson is good too, and I agree. That movie is very, very good. I love that movie. Yeah, also, the song from Sia and it, California Dreamin'.
Dreaming.
Thank you, then.
What do you call it? One movie that I went to watch in the cinema there that I was just like, no, John Cusack, this is bad because of the CGI, was 2012.
I've not seen that one.
It was just trying to do too much.
I
like the concept, but yeah, like I said, in the cinema, the CGI didn't look good. And I was just like, John Cusack needs to just stay in room 1408.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing it here.
Yeah. I mean, then Armageddon, that's a classic.
What about Deep Impact? Everyone likes a bit of Deep Impact.
What is Deep Impact?
With Morgan Freeman.
I've not seen it.
And the asteroid, or is it comet?
My asteroid movie that I only know is Armageddon. Basically. Jenny says CGI is questionable in 2012.
Yeah. Yeah, Deep Impact. It's basically Armageddon, but replace Bruce Willis with Morgan Freeman.
Bruce Willis?
And I don't think they're going to space.
Oh.
Do they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, something that I need. So, one thing that upset. So,
okay.
Again, nothing wrong with what everybody likes, but it upsets me because, like, kind of like romantasy, you've got Romora.
What is
new term alert?
Romora?
Romantasy horror.
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I just made it up.
Oh, you bitch.
But where it's like Twilight, or I'm a werewolf, but we're in love, or I'm insert
we're mates
here, but yeah, and it's like because of stuff like that, like you get no serious like scary vampire books anymore. You don't get
true.
Scary. What I would love is a scary werewolf book, and also one thing I hate is seeing these creatures from their perspective of like. Well, when it comes to horror, like,
yeah,
if it's any other thing you're trying to explore, like, great, you do you.
Yeah.
But if I'm here for horror, I don't want to be like, I was bitten and I'm a werewolf and this is my struggle. No, I want to be the final girl, like, what the fuck is that beast?
Oops, sorry, I just knocked my mic. Sorry, continue.
That's okay. Like, I'm the final girl, what the fuck is that beast? I'm running for my life, I don't know what it's thinking.
Yeah.
It's just primal horror. I know it did a little graphic novel, but I need, going back to vampires, I need 30 Days of Night as a book.
Oh, that's such a good, that's a good movie.
So good.
I did read Bride and I really enjoyed it. It's good, but it's not a horror. It just had really good, like, a mystery to it.
I think things like that have influenced authors. So like you're not getting lots of people like, oh, I want to do a pure horror book with this beast. Because as well, when you're going from like the werewolf or the vampire's perspective, that takes away the fear.
It does. I don't like that. Normally,
it's the fear of the unknown.
Yes, which is why I love Lovecraft. It's all about the fear of the unknown. He wrote horror books for atheists. You know, I love it.
That's, I will admit, one genre I want to get more into is cosmic horror.
There's so many.
I've read one that I think you'd like. It's only like 200 pages, short little novella. Let me get it. Oh, and it's sapphic.
Ooh.
But that's the thing. I like, so it's like, oh yeah, LGBT, but I like it when it's like, oh, that's just a fact. It's not the main focus, and it's not trying to be woke. That's like Cabin at the End of the World. Like, he was like, oh, it's a gay couple with this adopted daughter.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just like, yeah, they were literally, as it should be, just written like a normal couple.
Love that.
There were no stereotypes or anything. It was just perfect.
I love that.
Yeah. So this cosmic horror.
Yeah.
And the copy I've got has a good cover. It's called The Wyrm and His Kings.
Ooh.
It is. Oh wow. It's actually 114 pages.
Yeah.
Let me read you the blurb.
Go on.
New York City, 1990. When you slip through the cracks, no one is there to catch you. Monique learns that the hard way after her girlfriend Donna vanishes with a trade. Only after the disappearances of several other impoverished women does Monique hear the rumors. A taloned monster stalks the city's underground and snatches victims into the dark. Donna isn't missing, she was taken. To save the woman she loves, Monique must descend deeper than the known underground, Greg, into a subterranean world of enigmatic myths and shadowy creatures. What she finds looms beyond her wildest fears, a darkness that stretches from the dawn of time and across the stars.
Ooh. That does sound pretty good. I think I'll grab a hold of that.
And also it's creepy because like she goes like under this bridge to like an old...
And there was a troll.
Subway entrance.
Yeah.
And do you know like when you see in movies where there's like loads of homeless people around like trash can fires and like, you know, the old like homeless people live in the subway.
Yeah.
Tunnels. It's kind of like that. So like you're fearful because you're like, oh shit, what are you gonna find?
Yeah.
And then shit just goes like cosmic bonkers. And I was like, oh, good time.
Jenny says Underworld. Were those films from books? If not, I would read those. Point.
I would read that. Something else that I really, really need.
Yeah.
Is, and not the. Don't get me wrong, I love that. So I need books that are like Buffy, and I know Buffy has books.
Yeah, but it's not
I
the
need
same.
other series. Yeah, it's not. But I need other series that are like reading Buffy, good action.
Yeah.
Good characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't know where to get that.
we can look it up.
Help us.
Help us. Jenny agrees with you, Greg, by the way.
Right?
Yeah. Right?
Right? And then once that's good, and we've got like 10 books of those, make it into a series.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. Have you ever had a book series that you've been reading and it's like one's missing, that last book is missing, and you realise that's never going to be published, so you're just stuck in this limbo?
No. Next question. No, I'm joking. No, it's no, only... Well, let me think. Oh no, the answer's still no.
Okay,
it's just no because... Just you. It's no because... Well, because I've only really gotten into stuff like sci-fi and fantasy relatively recently.
Yeah.
Within the past year or so.
Yeah.
So if you think about like your horrors and your slice of lives and crime thrillers, like they're normally really standalones. the only books that aren't fantasy, sci-fi, that are series that I've got are the Lee Child, Jack Reacher books. I read the first book. It was amazing, and I really didn't think it'd be my cup of tea, but I was just like, oh my god, sleep with me. So then I instantly was like, yeah, I trust you. Well, I didn't get them all, but I was like, I'll buy some more of your books. So I've got like 4 more of his books.
Oh, wow.
On my bookshelf looking at me, which I know I'll enjoy. Picked up yet. Yeah, so... But again, he's still constantly releasing stuff, so I don't think it's going
to... Yeah, it's got to end at some point, though.
Also, with his books, though, they're the same character, but unrelated.
Oh, no.
Stories. So it's like each... Didn't you say Joe Nesbo did that? Where it's like a detective, but like each book is like a different case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very much like that. So if like you can start anywhere in the series really, and you won't be missing anything. So it wouldn't have an effect if he just one day was like, I don't want to write anymore.
Yeah. Point.
What about you?
I mean, the Nightworld series, I've been waiting for like 20 years for the last book to be released, and she keeps saying it is, but nothing's happened.
What's that?
But I do have a book that I wish was a series.
What's the Night series? Sorry.
So the Nightworld series is basically, it's like a supernatural sort of thing, where the Nightworld is full of a secret society of like vampires, werewolves, witches, ghosts, and all that sort of jazz. And it, all about like soulmates and stuff like that, and how humans aren't allowed to know about the Nightworld, this secret Nightworld, and they all have different things where you can kind of guess like if they are from like they might have a watch with like a little black rose on it that shows that they're part of the Nightworld or something like that. Like it's hidden among them and they're close, so they recognize each other. And basically it gets to a point where something big is going down. These old races are waking up and there's gonna be a fucking war. And as they all wake up towards the end of book 9, book 10
she goes on holiday.
Book 10's supposed to be like when everything happens, and we've been waiting 20 years for this to close off the series.
20?
Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine if she died.
I hate
Sorry to get dark. But
no, it's all good. But it's a good read. It's young adult, but like actual like teen more than anything.
Yeah.
But I grew up reading that.
There can be YA novels done well. But I think they're rare. Rare for adults to enjoy.
Yeah.
And also I think for me personally, I don't think YA romantasy would.
No, and it's not focused on that. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna kiss you, blah blah blah. It's still the fact like, okay, well, I guess we are somehow connected. I may not like you, and I may not enjoy this, but something is going on, and we need to figure this out together because we're in the same situation right now.
Yeah, Noughts and Crosses is a YA book, which
baffles my mind because I've read that, and that is very good. I love how it's reversed.
Yeah. Oh, that twist reveal.
Yeah.
Honey.
I know. When I got that, I was like, damn.
I was like, how do you guys feel? She's on the other foot now.
Yeah, but I wish Meddling Kids had a second book.
Oh my god, yes. If that was a series,
I'd be all over it. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the fact that you said that has made me really sad now that it's not.
It's really hurts me that it's not, because it's
also, why have we not gone to read his other books?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
That's a very good question. We dropped the ball there because he's amazing.
He is, and I need more people to read his books, especially Meddling Kids, because it's brilliant. When you showed me that, I was like, "Oh my god, yes!"
It's just so good. And then what I think I need him to do, he's taken on like an alternative Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
he needs to do this with other kid shows. I
would love that.
Could you imagine? A fucking adult Rupert the Bear? Come on.
No! Rupert, no!
Or the yeah, give me a fucking adult Rosie and Jim.
No, Powerpuff Girls.
That would get dirty. Oh my god. You've just ruined my life by coming up with the greatest idea ever. Him doing a version of Powerpuff Girls, but they're adults now, and they were like, "Oh, child superheroes and like life stuff.
Not everything was a lie.
The alcohol habit." Oh my god! Thank you for giving me something I will never have.
I know, right? Jenny's like, Winnie the Pooh, Arthur.
Well, Winnie the Pooh, they've kind of done that with
that movie, yeah. Yeah, that I've not seen it, but it looks scary.
Hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
I'm a failure.
Not words, but get along with each other.
Oh, Ven says Tom and Jerry.
Hey Arnold. Tom and Jerry. Yes. That'd be funny.
That would be weird.
That would be weird.
This mouse has a crack addict. The cat is a homeless man. Looney Tunes would be cool.
Oh my god, do you know what? Give me the Looney Tunes, but Hunger Games.
Oh, yes! Oh my god, thanks for giving me something I never have.
You're welcome. Hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, ow!
That'd be so good. Kind of like, did you ever watch Happy Tree Friends?
Yeah, do you remember the song? Yeah, I was obsessed with that. My mum walked in once when I was watching it. She was like, "What the hell are you watching?" And I'm like, "They're being murdering."
Mother.
Mother.
Yeah, so imagine Looney Tunes Battle Royale with Happy Tree Friends violence.
I love that. I think that should be a thing.
It should.
Jenny, don't look up Happy Tree Friends because you will not like it.
Oh,
no. It's messed up. It's so messed up. La, 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 la.
Oh, I really loved the Moose.
Oh, the one that always did stupid things.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good.
Name a genre, or actually I can think of 3 genres for myself.
Okay.
Give how many other genres you want that you struggle with, that you're just like, oh, I don't think I could do it. Like, you've not found a book yet that have convinced you, like, oh, I could constantly buy books in this genre.
High fantasy.
Sorry?
High fantasy.
Because of the fear of the thing. But I think that depends on the author as well.
Yeah, because I don't know where to go. There's so many different opinions and takes on things. I wouldn't know where to even start. I think high fantasy is very intimidating.
Yeah, I think, again, it depends on like the writing.
Yeah.
If you get someone that's really like verbose and like uses a lot of purple prose where it's just like lots of flouncy, complicated words just for the sake of it, then you're not really going to understand. But if it's somebody that's like not too crazy with the way they talk, then it's understandable.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Which I've never read.
No, but I remember I heard a bit of. Have you heard of an app called Scribd?
No.
Or Scribd. SCRIBD. It's basically an app subscription.
Yeah.
And like you sign up £10 a month and you can like read books and listen to audiobooks on it. And ages ago when I was subscribed, they had Lord of the Rings on there, and I started listening to it while I was at work. And like it literally just sounded like I was listening to the movie, and I was like, the writing wasn't, because you think, oh, back then it's probably like really complicated, but the writing style was easy to like tag along with. So I think for high fantasy it just depends on like the writing style.
The main thing that I don't really read, I've only read one book because of that, and it was actually really good, which is known as the Sun Bears Trials. But the main thing is when main characters are transgender. And that's weird for me to say because I'm transgender, but I can't read things like that. I just don't, and I think people get irked by that. That I don't. Yeah.
I think as well because it depends on like whether the author is or knows somebody who is.
Yeah.
Also, like you're on tricky ground when you try to write.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people.
If you're an ally and you try to write for somebody else,
there's a lot of people who do that, so I don't even go near it now. Sun Bear Trials, I believe the person is transgender, and it was so beautifully written and described because it was all about how they had these wings and stuff like that. It was absolutely beautiful, and I definitely you should read it. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that's the only one that I've read that I know that I have genuinely really enjoyed that, and I know Ven's read the second book that's come out as well, but I think I'd just be triggered because a lot of people just put their own mind and thoughts into it, and I'd be like, well, that's not correct, because also I know people also experience it different as well. So if
I think I struggle with some books when it's like, although I've not read one that like I've not completed because of it, but books where it shows like, which is obviously like the real experience, a lot of people like the mistreatment of LGBT characters in books, like they're the main character, and like the stuff they have to go through.
Yeah,
it's just triggering because it's like it's relatable, and it's just like it just makes it difficult to read. It's just like it just makes you sad.
Yeah, and I know that I'll struggle with that. Jenny says horror for her. She doesn't think she'll be able to get into that. I know that horror isn't really her thing, especially with body horror as well.
Okay.
Ven says crime/thriller don't work for me generally. Urban fantasy as well, I struggle with. I don't know what urban fantasy is. What's the difference with fantasy and urban fantasy?
So urban fantasy is like magical things, but in the real world, like modern day times.
Oh,
so for example, you've got the Dresden Files.
I've read the first book of the Dresden Files. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so that's like set in modern
times.
Days, yeah, city. So it's like you'll still have like London or whatever.
Yeah,
it just so happens.
The main character was just an idiot, and I hated him.
Did you?
Very sexist.
I listened to which one did you read?
The first one. But people have said that, Stormfront. But people said that it gets better as you read it, like the books get better.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of
it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
I listened to a couple of hours of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, when they've got the pirate audiobook. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm here for it. But I think so this is the thing. Like people So Stephen King does this a lot. So he's like, for me, he's like one of the best at writing characters ever. He just makes them so 3D and believable.
Yeah.
Loads of people have problems with his characters because they'll be like, that person's really racist and blah, blah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's the type of person that character is, and you get people like that in the real world.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know what I mean?
No, I see where you're coming from. I get it.
So I'm like, I don't.
We can't be. Oh my god, what's the word now? This is me failing at English. Ignorant to things that happen in real life, and it's gonna come into books as well.
Yeah,
like you can't just pretend it doesn't exist and it's a perfect world and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we read these books to also get away from things, but you know what? It's also going to happen in fantasy and other books and all that jazz. Like, it's going to be there for the story, for the world, because it exists in this book.
Yeah, and not everyone's going to be like a brilliant, perfect, woke character.
Yeah.
And like life's not like that. And
yeah.
You may, and I think that makes some characters interesting to be so multifaceted, to be like, oh yeah, you're my favorite character, I really like you. Oh, but
There's
that
that.
thing you said is
Yeah.
like not cool, or
Yeah.
oh, you should really kick that cocaine habit. Mighty cocaine habits,
mighty sweet.
I always mess it.
Take a little whip of me. God, no one's gonna know what that's from. Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Obviously, Jenny with horror. What is a good, just like a short story or something that you would be like, this is a good version of horror to get into. It's not going to be too like body horror, because there's so many like subgenres of everything and so on. So what is a good book that you would say, Jenny, this is actually pretty decent. I think you might enjoy it. It's not going to make you feel queasy. Yeah, it's a tough question, isn't it? Because there's so many different versions. But I know I'm telling you, I think she would enjoy Meddling Kids.
Yes.
But what would you think would be a good one? No, we're not saying the whistling.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. I think it's like very light horror.
Yeah.
Carrie is a good one that's really short.
Mm.
I know a lot of people won't like this, but Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I love it. Very beautiful gothic horror.
Yeah.
That's not too graphic. Oh, Jenny, I'm sorry, I don't know. Really disgusting stuff. Oh, probably Dracula, to be honest.
Oh, Dracula's good. So I know that Jenny has read some classic literature, so.
Okay. Oh, well then, yeah. I'd say Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is one of my favorite books. Like, the writing's beautiful. Like, it's a horrific like story if you think about it. But then you get so much empathy for the monster. And like the situation, he didn't ask to be made and then abandoned. He doesn't understand this world he's in.
Yeah.
And then the fear and hatred that he gets from others for being different, which is a good allegory for life.
Yeah.
People not being accepted of people that are different. It's really, I just love it. But then at the same time as well, he can fuck shit up.
Yeah, for sure.
And also the constant, like, fear that it puts Frankenstein under, knowing that there's monsters out there wanting revenge and shit.
Bless. You got a point there, actually. You do have a point. Ven says House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher is a solid, comfy horror and a decent intro into the genre, to be honest. I have, but I've not read.
I've not heard of that. I need to read some of Kingfisher's stuff, because I think on that script thing, I started listening to the audio of one of the books. I don't remember what it is, but the main character, her like dad died, and she had to like go to his house in the woods, whatever, to like clear out his stuff alone. Like spooky stuff was supposed to be happening. And I listened to that for a couple of hours. I was like, I'm not sure. But then, like, everyone's like, oh, they're really good. So I'm like, maybe it just wasn't the right book.
Yeah. That's tough, though. That's tough. Jenny says, it's no worries, Greg. I've read Frankenstein and read half of Dracula. I like the older books, but struggle with the old language, to be honest. I really have to focus when reading them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Very fair. It's sometimes with the language changes that's happened obviously throughout the times. It can be difficult.
Yeah, I think maybe like kind of different, but I think thrillers might be a good thing for Jen, because like it's not hardcore horror.
Yeah.
But then obviously you've got like killers or stuff chasing people, so like there is that tension and horror of that. So I think like it's a bit less gory, let's say that.
Okay.
That might be, I think that might be a good route to go down. Oh, speaking of which, I love a good cat and mouse little thing going on.
Yeah. Oh, wait 1 second. My door's just gone. Talk to them, Greg.
Oh, hello everybody. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe. Yeah, I've read some good thrillers that have been really like tense. Oh, actually, I think who's the person? Oh, then I've not read Dracula either, to be fair.
I'm
but
back.
I've got
I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
Okay. Who's that author that did the Hacienda book?
Oh yeah, I want to read that one. I've not read it yet.
Her books are like horror, but not.
It's more gothic
horror
than anything.
Yeah,
it's more
so
atmospheric.
I think Jen might like that.
I would have to agree with that. I think more atmosphere is more her way to go. Ven has never read Dracula or Frankenstein.
I know. Well, I've got Dracula, but I've not read it.
Which is understandable, because I know that Ven struggles with the language as well.
With not me, that you can't read, I don't like the book cover I got.
Are you serious? Oh, wow.
Also, I don't know where it is.
So good.
You'll never guess what book I've got.
What?
Jaws.
What book do you have? I give up.
Oh,
I can't guess.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Jaws.
Oh, Jaws! How would that work as a read?
Well, it was a book before it was a movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Very like Jurassic Park. Well, I suppose that makes more sense because it's like they're on land. I mean, but yeah, I'm really intrigued to see like whether it has that tension and what the movie left out.
That's true. Because the movie for like Jurassic Park is so different from the book. Like I was baffled by that. I was like, wow.
From what I heard, those couple of hours of I keep on listening to a couple of hours of audiobooks because I listen to them when I go to bed and then I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the parts that I heard, I was like, this is a horror.
It very much is, but it did make me chuckle at certain points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've not got to the chuckle bits yet, but I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Sam Neill and Goldblum. Oh, edit it!
No, it's staying.
Yeah, they didn't have to deal with as much horror.
Then says I have them both on Kindle. It's odd though because this language doesn't bother me when I read like the Silmarillion by Tolkien. And you did, Jenny, tell me about Jurassic Park and how different it was. And you know what? I'm sorry it took me so long to actually take your rec and read it because it was a read.
I'm confused where the Silmarillion like fits in Tolkien's work. If Ben can answer that, because I know there's the trilogy and The Hobbit as like the prequel, the first ever, and then I was like, "What? The Silmarillion?" Oh, I've got a book.
Oh my god!
Again, that was in. If anybody wants.
What? You could add it then, my love.
Oh, sorry. If anybody wants horror.
Yeah.
Again, we're not guys, but the Abominable Book Club is an amazing subscription. So
it is.
2 new books, horror and sometimes thrillers, and 1 used book. And there is a book that I cannot find. Wait, talk by yourself.
Okay. Ven says, it's basically the history of Middle Earth from the elves' arrival to the Hobbit, which you have told me about, which I didn't know because there's a lot of books to do with Lord of the Rings, which obviously I've not read. I've not read The Hobbit. So that just goes over my head. When I went
Lord of the Rings was fantasy. Oh, I think I've been reading the wrong series.
That was terrible. Son of a bee sting.
Okay, I've got these 2 books. One of them's quite thin, actually. What were we talking about that
Crime and
led
thriller,
up
and
to
then
it?
I don't know.
It just led. I think we're talking. I don't know, but anyway, I'll tell you about these books anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. This one is called Crypt of the Moon Spider.
Ooh.
And obviously, so everyone, I've got arachnophobia and whatever the fear of snakes phobia is.
Yeah.
And on the back, one of the people's review quote says, "A thoughtful meditation on personhood, judgment, and trauma, not for the arachnophobic amongst us." So I was like, oh,
Oh.
thanks for sending this to me, guys.
Ooh.
But yeah, it says years ago in a cave beneath the dense forests and streams on the surface of the moon, a
Yeah.
gargantuan spider once lived. Its
Ooh.
silk granted its first worshippers immense faculties of power and awe. It's now 1923, and Veronica Brinkley is touching down on the moon for her intake at the Barrowfield Home for Treatment of the Melancholy. Dr. Barrington calls invasive and highly successful treatments have been lauded by many, and they're so simple. All it takes is a little spider silk in the amygdala, maybe a strand or two in the prefrontal cortex, and perhaps an inch in the hippocampus, for near evisceration of those troublesome thoughts and ideas. But trouble lurks in many a mind at this facility, and although the spider's been dead for years, its denizens are not. Someone or something is up to no good, and Veronica just might be the cause.
Ooh.
Yay!
That
Arachnophobia.
Is that by Nathan Ballingrud?
Ballingrud, yeah.
That's the one.
And then I've got this other one, and the cover is amazing but frightening because it's got some kind of snake on the front.
Yeah.
Basilisk by Graham Masterson.
Ooh.
It says, "Whatever you do, don't look up." Nathan Underhill is right at the cutting edge of stem cell research, attempting to recreate mythological creatures in order to cure medical conditions like Alzheimer's and MS. After 5 years of research, he loses his funding. Nathan suspects that somebody else has succeeded in breeding mythical hybrids. He discovers that Dr. Zauber, owner of the local care home, has brought to life the basilisk, which could reputedly kill any living thing with a single stare. When Nathan's wife, Grace, is put into a coma after nearly being killed, Nathan is forced to choose. Lose Grace forever, or enter into an unholy alliance with Zauber to breed more mythological beasts at the cost of many more human lives.
Ooh.
I'm a whore for that, to be honest. Give me mythological beasts.
That does sound pretty good,
mythological
actually.
horror? I
don't read enough of that sort of stuff. I would love that.
So yeah, those are definitely on a TBR.
What else is on your TBR?
Oh, child. What? I just dropped one of my favourite pens.
Yeah.
That's really upsetting to me. So we have, again, this is not one of those. This is just, I guess, just normal fiction. It's called The Plot, and stuff like this. I was like, I'm a whore for.
Yeah.
I got this when I was with you. When a young writer dies before completing his first novel, his teacher Jake, himself a failed novelist, helps himself to its plot. The resulting book is a phenomenal success. But Jake worries, what if somebody out there knows? Somebody does, and if Jake can't figure out who he's dealing with, he then risks something far worse than losing his.
Ooh.
So I love the idea of like stories with like, oh, I've stolen this idea or this product, whatever, and become successful, and now you're out for revenge.
Yeah.
There's another one that everyone was going crazy for. I've still not gotten around to reading. For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing.
Yeah.
Teddy Crutcher has just won Teacher of the Year at the prestigious Belmont Academy, home exclusively to the brightest and the best. He says his wife couldn't be more proud, though no one has seen her in a while. He's deeply committed to improving his student. and well aware which ones need improving.
Ooh.
And all he wants is for his colleagues and the endlessly interfering parents to stay out of his way. Oddly, not everyone agrees that Teddy has their best interests at heart. But will that change when someone receives a lesson to die for?
Yeah.
I think I remember in people's reviews of it, he's like,
oh god, Milo,
messed up. Like he, like I said about teaching lessons and stuff. Apparently, like drugs his students and shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like a fucking psycho teacher. So I was like, sign me up.
Bless you. See, one of the books that I'm excited to read that I've got is The September House by, oh god, Carissa Orlando. And
that sounds familiar.
I've talked about it quite a lot because I've been wanting to read it, and I finally got a hold of it. Milo, you be quiet, we're having a conversation. And this is, when Margaret and her husband, Hal, bought the large Victorian house on Hawthorne Street for sale at a surprisingly reasonable price, they couldn't believe they finally had a home of their own. Then they discovered the hauntings. Every September, the walls drip blood. The ghosts of former inhabitants appear, and... How dare you? And all of them are terrified of something that lurks in the basement. Most people would flee. Margaret is not most people. After 4 years, Margaret has learned how to live with the house. It's her house after all, but Hal can't take it anymore and he leaves abruptly. Now he's not returning calls, and their daughter Catherine, who knows nothing about the haunting, arrives intent on looking for her missing father. To make things worse, September has just begun, and with every attempt Margaret and Catherine make to find Hal, the hauntings grow more harrowing because there are some secrets the house needs to keep.
Give me scary.
The cover is beautiful, by the way.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah. I'm excited.
You just made me think as well. I would love a book about ghost hunters.
Yeah.
Whether it be like meddling kids style or like paranormal state but serious and they actually try to help people.
Yeah.
I think that would be like a cool book.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, there's a few out there.
Or like imagine like ghosts and they go state to state trying to like deal with different supernatural threats.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Don't get enough of that sort of stuff, or I've never seen any that really grabs my attention, at least.
Yeah, because it all and it puts me off as well, because things will pop up, but then it's like a really cheesy like cover of like a barely clothed bosom babe. With, like,
she's in like latex and stuff like that. Like I'm a ghost.
Yes. Yeah. No.
It's like, please stop.
Go back to the 80s.
Oh, that's good.
It just doesn't set the tone for because the story could be good, but while you're reading, you're just thinking of that fucking awful cover.
Yeah, that's true.
And imagining that woman as the character.
That's true. That is true. You have a point there with that. What about... Okay, so this is happening quite a lot with books that are going as, like, YA. And it's like the cartoon pictures of, like, a boy and a girl when they're not really for children. But because it's drawn in such a style, they're reading it. I
had an audiobook once that I listened to at work.
And stop growling at the hallway.
It was a gay book. It had one of those cartoon covers, two guys like camping stuff in the woods, just looking very similar to like Heartstopper cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks really cute. And I was listening to it and I was like, okay, it's dealing with like a bit of mental health and stuff. I was like, okay, that's very forward of them to introduce that.
Yeah.
And then, it got to the scene where they're camping and juices are flowing, if you get what I mean and stuff. This is not what this cover was a lie. And the way, I mean, as you can tell from my picture, I'm brown, so I can't blush, but I'm pretty sure I was fucking bright red. Like, nobody look at me. They'll probably be like, what you listen to?
I've had the same experience in work as well with stuff like that. And I'm always worried because it's like, I've got Bluetooth headphones. It's like, what if they die and it goes loud?
Yeah. I'm like, it's just, I think sex scenes.
In audiobooks,
books are like.
I know, if it's written well, I'm like, ooh, saucy. But most of the time, it's like he shoved it into her womb, and she was like, "Ooh yeah," and it's like, no, pain.
Well, yeah. I've not heard ones like that, but I've heard one.
Oh, you cut out?
No, I'm just thinking like graphic and like bringing in hot imagery or whatever, and like, yeah. And I'm just like, it just makes me feel like, like, do you know when you're in school and you're like,
yeah.
I don't get the like, oh yeah. Light a candle.
I need to light a candle scented too.
Yeah, I don't know if those scenes. I don't know. Do they turn people that are fan people in chat? These books with these smutty scenes in, do those scenes turn you on? Like,
no,
or does like, I don't know. What's the payoff? I guess
I don't know. I wouldn't know. But Van has this book. He has Icebreaker, and a lot of kids are reading Icebreaker.
Oh, I know it, the hockey one.
Yeah. He also says that he has zero shame, and he just said not generally.
Wait, what?
He says not generally. I'm struggling with the word. Don't. I'm really trying.
Oh, Ben's arachnophobic as well.
Yeah. Good times.
I actually, even though I know it'll make me uncomfortable, I want to play that game, Kill It With Fire.
Fair. Understandable. Understandable. No, you're all good. You're all good. I will say
books should have warnings on. Also,
yeah, no, I agree with that.
In bookstores, you shouldn't be giving books willy-nilly.
Well, they don't really have the same sort of thing as like games and movies, though, do they?
I know, but I'm saying this is what should be a thing.
I agree. It's definitely an experience.
When
you buy a book, you must now bring an ID.
Might as well.
Oh, Ven says that game becomes arg when the spiders get knives.
They get knives?
Knives? We have spoken about age ratings, and they still baffle me because I think sometimes they don't match a lot of the time with the books. Like, it's...
Yeah.
It's boggling half the time. It's been a while.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. Is there any other books that you're looking forward to?
Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and Owen King.
Oh.
That's a chunky one.
Is it?
Absolutely whore for it. Well, also, because I'm like, I want to see if it runs in the family as well. So it's obviously...
Yeah, with the son, yeah.
Yeah. The cover is stunning. I will have to
send me a picture. Yeah, that'll be good.
It's absolutely one of my best covers. Yeah. In this spectacular father-son collaboration, Stephen and Owen King.
Oh, you cutting out a little bit, my love?
Oh, sorry. I'll start again.
Thank you.
Wait, let me look up the words. In this spectacular father-son collaboration, Stephen King and Owen King tell the high-stakes stories. What might happen if women disappeared from the world of men? All around... Greg, I'll have a party. Only joking, I love you women. All around the world, something is happening to women when they fall asleep. They become shrouded in a cocoon-like gauze. Yeah. If awakened, if the gauze wrapping their bodies is disturbed, the women become feral and spectacularly violent. In the small town of Dooling, West Virginia, the virus is spreading through a woman's prison, affecting all the inmates except one. Soon word spreads out about the mysterious Evie, who seems able to sleep and wake. Is she a medical anomaly? Or a demon to be mine.
Oh, you struggled then.
I did. The abandoned men, left to their increasingly primal devices, are fighting each other, while dueling Sheriff Leland Norcross just fighting to stay awake, and the sleeping women are about to open their eyes to a new world altogether. I love that. You go to sleep and you get cocooned.
Yeah.
And
it sounds
if
good.
you're disturbed, you're a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
That does sound really
Also,
good. Is that
I
out?
love, like...
Or is it coming out? It's out already? Okay. That's what I need to have a look at then.
I also love the thought, and I like it in post-apocalyptic stories as well, where it's like, yeah, this is the threat, but other people are the threat.
Yeah.
And kind of like, one of my favourite King books, although the ending was like, why, is Under the Dome, which is amazing. And basically this small town having to survive through this fucked up situation. And it's like, they all turn on each other, and like, you get murder and all sorts, and you just see like the depravity that human beings can like sink to. And I just love that kind of sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
So I'm expecting more of that, kind of very much like I've not read it, Lord of the Flies, like how they turn on each other.
Oh god, I've seen the movie.
So it sounds like that's what the men are going to end up doing, because it's all fucked up. Also, I love the idea, kind of like, did you see that terrible Nicole Kidman movie remake, Invasion?
No.
It's basically Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but whoever, like, if you fall asleep, you become part of the hive mind. And like throughout the whole film, she's like, I need to stay awake. That's all.
Which is scientifically impossible, because you'll die without sleep.
Yeah, but like, I love so what are you going to do about it? And obviously she does stuff like, I'm going to stab myself with adrenaline and shit like that. So yeah, I'm pumped for that book.
That sounds really good, to be honest.
What else is on your TV?
That's a very good question. Heads Will Roll.
I want that.
It by Joss Winning, that came out recently.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, I've got that. Blackwater.
I think I want the cover you've got.
Yeah, it's hardback.
The other cover's good, but I'm like, but I think I like yours more.
Yeah, but the wound in the neck
is
the head. Nice axe wound, you whore. Blackwater. I'm excited to actually read that. It's been out for a while, and it's a series, and I'm excited for that. It's a dark gothic horror with this small town and this family of landowners, and basically like a flood and a mysterious woman arrives with it, and it's like oh bugger, what's the word? Not a cryptid, but what is it? Like a fair, you know what I mean? It's not crypto. What's the other thing? Folklore person, type of thing. It's like kind of like a folkish kind of horror. That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm excited to read that.
One book that I really want to get, although
Milo,
like it's always like I've not seen it in any bookstores. And when you look at it on Amazon, like the lowest price is always like 20 quid. I'm like, no. It's Slewfoot by Brom.
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god. Type in Slewfoot on Google. SLEW foot, one word.
Wait,
and look at that cover.
SLEW
FOOT.
FOOT. Oh, Slewfoot.
Yeah.
Yes. With the little legs dangling off the broom.
Yeah, with the hoofs.
With the hoofs.
Give me that folk witchy horror.
Oh, did Witchy read that for her last blog? I've not fully watched the whole blog yet. But I've heard things about it.
I really want that.
Yeah. You definitely need to do that video then, because I need it. And she really likes the book. Okay, so there you go. You've got a think about it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
A book I really want, which sounds like really good, is called All Star Chain Gang. and it's basically, I think it's like set in the future, and it's like you've got prisoners, but like you get a chance to escape, but like basically like battle royale, like you have to enter these games and kill someone if you want to escape prison. It's like televised.
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, I'm really, really wanting to read that.
Ooh. That does actually sound pretty cool. Milo.
Going back to like...
1 second, I'm just gonna get Milo because he's freaking out about something. Yeah. I apologise. Talk amongst yourselves. Milo, there's nothing here to bar.
One of the genres that I don't think I could vibe with is comedy books. Because like, I feel like it can be difficult to come across.
It's proper pouring outside.
Well, that makes sense.
Good man. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Anyway,
I was just saying, one of the genres I think is not my thing is comedy.
I find comedy very hard.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get across the type of humor.
Yeah.
It's just very difficult. And then also historical. I know, right then. The green cover to Chain Gang is amazing. Historical fiction. I never liked history as a kid, so I would just yawn. And then I'd say biographies.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's... Like, I love, obviously, like, some famous people, like historical figures.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's really been... I just think biographies, I guess, would just be similar to historical fiction, because it's just like a list of facts about their lives in the past. And so I think it's very... Yeah, I've not yet found one where I've been like, oh, I want to read that.
You should definitely read Butcher and Blackbird.
What, so you can baby bird?
No, no. You should also read Bride. That does have a bit of comedy in it as well.
I watched some reviews on Butcher and Blackbird as well.
Okay, go on, give us your opinions then.
Oh my god. I don't remember as much of that, but
yeah,
I think there was like a lot of like, it's very like surface level stories and not much. I think people are saying like, because it's supposed to be like, oh, we meet once a year to do this challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
And that wasn't going very well. And how she's eating ribs boobily. Also, as well, people were saying they didn't like the writing because they felt like the author was trying to make the characters quippy, like Marvel characters.
They were quippy, but it was very natural between the characters, which is why it's really good. It wasn't forced. It was technically, it was all in like good taste with the characters.
No, it can be natural, but I think with me as well, it'd be like comedy, like with clips and stuff, because quips are like funny and blah blah. Like, I don't know if it would hit it. I like the concept.
Yeah.
Also, as well, I think they were like picking parts and stuff with like Blackbird, and how they were like, they really should have done her character like this, or like.
I think its character was actually perfect for what it was.
Okay, I think because I don't remember now, but they were picking up on detail. Oh, because hasn't she got a nickname apart from Blackbird? She's like known as the Perfectionist.
The Orb Weaver.
Oh, the Orb Weaver.
Yeah.
They were saying like they really could have like played on her nickname more.
I do wish that though. Because when it actually goes into the details of why, I was like, that's actually such a really good idea, and I like the imagination with it that I get from it, the imagery.
Yeah. Because I feel like I'd like that book, but I feel like I'd be like, okay, you're fucking, but can we get back to the chasing and killing?
Yeah, Ven's reading read the second one, and her character's the
yeah,
highlight.
He said he wasn't as keen, didn't he?
Yeah, sad. That's what that is. That's sad.
I think as well with a lot of these like books that come out, especially with the Dom type daddies in it.
Yeah,
it just gives me like, you're just trying to be a 50 Shades.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be interesting, actually. That'll be an interesting challenge. I challenge everyone to find me a smut book that doesn't read YA.
Yeah.
Isn't too tropey.
Yeah. But they're all tropey. It's smart.
That I would enjoy. Well, this is the challenge.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to get back to you with that one.
Bonus points if it's gay.
Okay. Ven might be the best one to ask about that then.
Okay.
Can it be a manga?
Yes, but I also want a novel.
Okay. Good to know.
The manga is oh my god, if you can suggest a BL manga, then that's amazing. That's the bonus assignment.
Okay. We can try that. That's
and it's got to have it's got to have like no eye rolly characters. It needs to be something that I'm not gonna like.
You want to kick your feet out and be all giggly with.
What?
You want to kick your little feet out like a little schoolgirl crush giggling.
Yeah, make me like turn on the fan because it's getting hot.
Get them scented candles out.
Yeah, I don't want to be like. I don't want one where it's like, oh no, I'm laughing at you, not with you.
Oh right, yeah, okay, got ya. This is okay. I'm gonna have to look at this.
Okay, Ben says you're the one to go to.
No, he reads more of the LGBTQ though. I've not read Hooks. I'm not going to touch Hooks. I don't want to read Hooks. I don't want to. You can't make me.
Methinks you doth protest too much.
You be quiet. But here's this is a manga for you. The Dragon's Betrothed by Meguru Hinohara.
Oh, you sounded really cool when you said Hinohara.
Thank you. I try.
Notice me, senpai.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me. Oh god.
I know there's a really fucked up one that's called Killer Stalker, I think it's called.
I've never heard of that.
I think that's manhwa, which is Korean manga.
Wait.
It's a thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And also, did you know, so you've got ramen, which is Japanese noodle.
Yeah.
The Korean one is ramyun.
It's the same thing.
No, so RAMEN for Japan.
Yeah.
RAMYUN for Korea.
Why?
Because they're different.
Okay.
But Killer Stalker is like foot tux, like from what I've seen. It's basically this like student.
Yeah.
And this older kid sticks up for him in class and he's like, oh wow, and he becomes obsessed with him. He's a bit of a weird kid. And like he like goes to his home.
Yeah.
He's like obsessed with him, and then the house is empty, and then he goes into the basement, and there's a woman. I don't remember if she's dead or not, but she's like tied up and fucked up in the basement.
Yeah.
And then like the guy who stuck up for him comes home. He's like, "Oh no, you know too much." Knocks him out with the baseball bat, and then keeps him chained up as like a sex pet.
Ew.
But then but then the one who was like the stalker, he kind of goes all Stockholm syndrome-y.
Oh no, I hate that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I'm good. I'm good. Why is it always got to be Stockholm syndrome?
I don't know, Violence.
Oh! I cannot believe you just said that. How dare you? You take that back right this instant.
With your white tips.
No! Stop! You're so mean.
No, to sit until Jen said about you dyeing your hair to be.
No! At least I have hair. I'm so sad.
Oh my god. So funny.
You're so mean. That's what you are. But I'm probably going to end this very soon. Unless there's something else you want to say or you want to talk about.
Keep reading, people. Books are good. Yeah, don't be afraid to try new things.
That's very true. Yeah, don't be afraid to try new things. That's a good little thing to say, Greg.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. I guess we're gonna leave it on that noise.
Yeah. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
Stop it! I hate you. No, I love you too much.
Link to Noah's Patreon is in the description.
I know I don't have Patreon now. Right, we're gonna go now. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and asking the questions. We appreciate it. Oh,
you guys.
Jennifer Lopez grabbed the wheel, as you say.
She needs to.
I don't have hobbit feet. Stop it, then. Bye. Thank you for joining, Jenny. We appreciate it. Much love. Say bye, Greg.
Bye, Greg. No, bye, everyone.
Oh, you bitch.